It's the bass.
Because you gotta go see Batman. You know, I didn't even know a new movie came out.
For real?
Bro.
Everywhere, bro.
What? Dog. Do you watch TV at all?
Robert Pattinson?
No.
I mean, even if you
everywhere. I see
even if you watch YouTube, like the freaking ads have been going crazy.
I don't get ads on my YouTube. I don't know about you.
I don't get ads on my YouTube either.
Wait, did all y'all get YouTube TV?
No, YouTube premium or whatever the fuck it is.
I get YouTube Premium, you broke.
Nah.
Yeah, no way I'm watching ads. That shit would add up to like hundreds of hours of fucking
wasting my fucking time. That and my kids.
Yeah, fuck that. So. The 9, however, is totally worth it.
Yeah, yes.
I gotta draw a line somewhere, man. What
you get the YouTube Music too, so it's like you can fuck with that. You don't have to pay for another music thing.
Step your shit up, Google. You're a celebrity, bro. Why the fuck you still using regular YouTube?
Your Trick Shot podcast was the only reason I was still hanging on to Spotify. That was the only reason.
Well, all my music's on there.
And that's the only reason.
Not Joe Rogan?
And I ain't following him to Spotify.
Hey, yo, he called us monkeys, bro.
Yo, did you see the compilation video?
I did.
Racism?
But the thing is about that, it's like most of these clips are like they've been out there for over a decade, and it's just and now you're just getting upset. It just seems like manufactured. Like you could be it's totally legitimate to be like, okay, this white person shouldn't be using the N-word flippantly. You know, for whatever,
I like that word.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like even if he's not like maliciously racist, that could be seen as racist, right? But
boy, she didn't know I wasn't shit until her friends told her.
And yeah, exactly. So it's like if people really cared, it would have been like most of these clips are from like his really old, like decade ago, like. Whatever. So it's understandable that people are upset, but I don't care. And like there's just so much shit going on. Like there's Ukraine. Like you know what I mean? Like whatever.
We talked about cancel culture, bro.
This
is the latest installment, man. Come on.
I mean, you know, I get it, but it's like he's a bro that says shit, and it's like. You know, we have plenty of actual problems to deal with and to be upset about something some white man said a decade ago.
Nah, he's cool with
you
Kanye.
Didn't even know he said until someone told you.
He's cool with Kanye now. He's cool with Dave Chappelle.
Oh God.
He can say whatever he wants now.
Oh man, that's another shit show. I mean, if anything, Joe Rogan, if anything, the problem is his vaccine misinformation. That's a huge problem. But, you know, Kanye, yeah, that's a shit show, bro. I don't even follow it, but just the secondhand like news that pops up, and I'll like read an article here and there. It's I don't even know what to say, bro. It's sad.
I did finish it. Did anybody watch his documentary on Netflix? It's pretty great.
Everyone keeps saying it's good. I haven't watched it.
Seen it yet.
No, it's good. It's actually it's really good. And what I enjoyed about it, not giving any spoilers, his mans who shot it has been with him. His boy Cooley. He's the co-director of it, right? Cootie. I said Cooley. Cootie. So anyway, but not. I liked how, because I just finished part 3 yesterday. I like how he really looked out for him in the sense of when he was like toward the end, when it's the more recent stuff, because like it starts all the way back when he was like early 20s, like hanging out at parties with Jermaine Dupri. It starts all the way back up until like I think 2020 or 2021 is the most recent footage. So the most recent stuff, when he's going through like manic episodes and going ham, his boy shuts the camera off. He's like, yo, I don't even want to have my man out here looking crazy because he's already looking crazy. So I shut the camera off here. Or he puts the camera down and he's like, yo, I'm going to shut it off right here. Yeah, I'm going to shut it off right here. He did that a bunch of times, especially in the 3rd episode. And I appreciated that, because, knowing people that go through mental health, including myself, you see what I'm saying? Like, yo, you don't want that stuff to be public. You don't want that to be like, to be all out there. You see what I'm saying?
It's like us being there when Ugo blows up and starts doing drugs.
Oh man, we're gonna remember how it used to be.
Up and he gets crazy.
And we're gonna get quote sniped. They're gonna find shit that we said out of context. And
oh my god, yeah, from episode 1. Now, when I start dyeing my hair red and freaking get a Trump tattoo tatted on my chest, and
God.
see what I'm saying, and start like drinking like whole milk at like vegan rallies and stuff like that, y'all gonna be there for me. I appreciate that.
Man's lost. Man down, man down. Yeah, man. But it's crazy. There's a lot going on nowadays, particularly with Ukraine. That's like the biggest thing on the docket.
I'd say so.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy what's happening. I don't know. It's hard to know where to start when it comes to it, because on one end it's like, I have a pretty okay understanding of what's going on and why it's happening, the history behind it. But on the other hand, it's like, it's things are still happening. So, anything we say could change.
Like that's one.
I'll go ahead, DK.
I was gonna say, I guess that the fog of war thing, it's like this has only been going on since like the 24th, and it's just like so much stuff has been happening. Like, to be honest, I don't really know what's going, I don't really know what's going on, like in regards to who's quote unquote winning or losing or anything like that. Like I started looking a little bit into like the history just to try to kind of like understand it. And yeah, man, this is just kind of crazy, I guess is the only way to put it. This is crazy because wars go on for mad long, bro. Like, and this is just the beginning. That's the whole thing. Wars go on for years, bro. Like, this is just, maybe something could change. Maybe this will be done in like 30 days. Who knows? But like, wars go on for a really, 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 really long time, man.
Yeah, and before we even deep dive, I just want to address it from like a layman standpoint, as somebody who's just like, casual viewer, casual TV viewer.
That's casual war observer.
That's me too. That's me too, Fab. That's me too, Fab.
Like, I think that's all of us to a degree. Like, I don't think any of us are like super
like tapped in to the war.
Tapped in, right? Like, there's people who are so removed from it that they're just eating whatever the media is dishing out. So it's like the media.
I think that's most people with most things. Period.
Yeah, the media is painting Russia as like the quote unquote bad guy in a sense, and they're painting.
I would agree with that, though.
Yeah, you would or wouldn't?
I absolutely would agree with that. They the Russian government is unequivocally the bad guy. Like there's so few conflicts too that are like, wow, there's a good guy, there's a bad guy. There's usually like all sorts of like geopolitical interests at place. There's like, there's sometimes there's no clear start to conflicts. There's like all these things going on, but this seems this seems to be very clear example of Russian imperialism and like Russian, and not as in the Russian people, Russian as in Putin's government, because there's very, very clear difference between the two. I know a few Russians, and none of them are in support of what's going on. I think everyone on all sides doesn't really, want this conflict to happen. The Russian people are suffering now because of sanctions given out by mostly Western countries. The ruble is at an all-time low, I believe. So their currency is going crazy. Russia was never even really in a great state. As I've heard it described, outside of Moscow and St. Petersburg, it's like a third world country or so-called third world country.
Wow, shit.
It's just rough. So I really feel bad for the Ukrainian people and for the Russian people in general. It just seems like it's the people as usual are getting fucked over some geopolitical aspirations. It's unfortunate.
From what I read, Russia just slowly surrounded Ukraine from the north, the south, and the in the west. Is it the west? And then like knocked on the door.
East.
Like knocked
the east. The west. Poland's to the west.
Okay, to the east. And like knocked on the door and was like, "Yo, come outside, bro. We just want to talk." Nah, I'm not gonna jump you. Like they was like, "Just come outside."
Well,
bro.
that's what they were telling the world, right? They were massing over 100,000 troops, which was reported and seems to be confirmed by most sources, conducting military exercises.
Who counted? Who counted?
So the official line was like, "Oh yeah, they're Russia was trying to negotiate and make crazy demands, especially referring to like the reversal of NATO expansion, recognizing the two republics in the east of Ukraine, just a lot of things to justify this bullshit, basically.
Yeah.
I think another thing that needs to be discussed is, since we're in 2022 now and the digital age and social media, that changes the landscape of everything, because it makes the optics even worse. Like, could you imagine if there was like social media and like Twitter?
Oh, they lost
TikTok?
the optics war.
Yeah,
Russia has lost the optics war internationally.
Big time. Like, could you imagine during like the early stages of I think pretty much we were all in high school when the war in Iraq, or the conflict in Iraq and Afghanistan was going on. Could you imagine?
And it was bad, and that was bad already.
And that was bad. You see what I'm saying?
And that was horrible.
But what I'm saying is, especially now in 2022, like the optics, like the videos that go viral on Twitter and TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, it's just crazy, man. With families being displaced, and the other aspect that I am tapped into is the way the Africans are being treated in Ukraine, and how just off the rails. Like we all knew that racism is still a thing. Newsflash, but
like you're getting beat up over here, and you still want to beat us up?
Yo,
bullies gonna beat, bro.
Oh my god, yo, and it's just like, now go ahead, Fab. Go ahead, Fab.
I was gonna say, I read that they're not letting men out of the country 18 to 60.
Period.
Over 60 years old.
Yeah, period.
And they were like really trying to beat Africans down and prevent them from like getting on trains outside of Ukraine.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of videos with like, and I saw a couple where like it was like 100 students in the middle of a road and just a bunch of cops. Thank God the cameras, their phones were out. Mm-hmm. Like they had their guns drawn. Like they could have just slaughtered them right there in the middle of the street and been like, well, yeah, a couple of them were, had knives and threw rocks or whatever. And, we just have to defend ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But, but that kind of stuff again, and that gets put to the forefront, and that gets, pushed out for the world to, again, make the optics. And it makes Russia look bad. It makes Ukraine look bad. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's just, they're not absolved from the foolishness either on their side. You see what I'm saying? Like, you see all the hashtags on social media and in the news and on advertisements and commercials, like, yo, pray for Ukraine, pray for Ukraine. I'm just like, yo, these Africans, and you see what I'm saying? Like, yo, they're feeling it over there too. You know what I mean? From both sides. You know what I mean? So it's like, what's going on?
It could be both, Ukrainians could be the victims, and there could also be forces within those countries that are discriminating as well. It's like, things like that is never even, mutually exclusive, rather, there can be all sorts of things. And especially when you have conflict, all these things come to the forefront in a very, very quick manner, and things, that you may not have expected, or dynamics that you may not, or the world may not have known exist, mm-hmm. are shown to exist. Mm-hmm. So this will be, wow, it's just a lot to unpack, because this, what's happening now goes back to the fall of the Soviet Union in the early 90s and before that. Mm-hmm. We're watching history unfold. So it's just an unfortunate situation. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen? Because this is a whole powder keg waiting to happen. Now,
yeah.
The United States has explicitly said that them and NATO don't plan on directly intervening, even though they've been sanctioning Russia. Various countries have been sending weapons, supplies, humanitarian aid to Ukraine. But it's just hard to tell how these things will manifest. It's just a big question mark. But at the end of the day, it seems like whatever, but I hope this comes to an end in the near future. I hope by whatever means, by however mechanisms, by whatever, Ukraine is able to push back Russia, and at some point, Russian people are able to, not be taken advantage of by their government. And then not only this, but I think the reason, and this is kind of an aside, but I think one of the big reasons why this conflict is so publicized to begin with is that this has like big geopolitical sort of ramifications, particularly for the United States, but there are other things going on as well. You have the war in Ethiopia. You have Yemen still being bombed. You still have the issues in the Middle East with Israel and Palestine. Like, this is a conflict, but it's not the conflict. So it's just interesting. I've just been thinking a lot of like, just about, what's going on in the world. And another aside, how thankful I am, Uncle Sam, you know what I mean? Like, America is nowhere close to being perfect, but holy shit, I am lucky as shit to not be in any
Ukraine?
country. Yeah, I mean, for sure. But like, I am lucky as shit to be here and not there despite all of our problems. And this has nothing to do with me. I just happen to be here. We lucked out. We lucked the fuck out. I mean, we have our own problems, but our problems are maybe less acute than Putin coming in saying, "Hey, what's up, man? Like, let me get that.
Come outside, bro.
Let me hold something. Let me
get this shit real quick.
Come take this walk.
Take this walk real quick.
Yeah.
We're not gonna jump you, bro.
Yo, like literally, like that's bro. That's like literally some fucking Godfather gangster type shit. Oh yeah,
bro. Come take this ride. Come take this ride.
We're not gonna jump you, bro. We're not. What do you mean?
It's like, think about it, bro. Think about someone you don't like pulling up to your crib right now and says, "Yeah, let me get that."
Yo,
and just beats you the fuck up and then just moves in.
And start beating you up.
And then you still have to live there though. You're still there, but you're in like the other room or some shit.
So not for nothing. Quick sidebar. I'm glad you mentioned that. Like, I just watched this old school movie. It's like from '91, Bugsy, with Warren Beatty, and like it's a mob movie. Movie. It's about this dude, Ben Siegel. That was his name, from New York back in like the 60s. He was a mobster. He goes to California. He falls in love with his side chick or whatever. But there was a snitch, whatever, to spoil a movie. There was a snitch who came over to come visit him because he was on the run. So Ben Siegel was just like, "Yo, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Damn, I gotta kill you now." Shit. He's like, "Come take this ride." They take a ride to an abandoned train station and just got him. Just two in the head and just drove off. And I'm just like, it goes back to what you're saying, like, "Yo, come take this ride or come take this walk." Everybody knows how that's gonna end.
Yeah, man. Imperialism in any form, whether it's Russian, American, Chinese, doesn't matter, bro. Like, it's all crazy. And and the nutty thing is, it's like, this is the biggest war in Europe since like.
Yeah, they said like
since the Cold War. Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, I mean, legit. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it just goes to show, like, throughout history, like, war was the norm. You know, you look anywhere, any civilization, anywhere on the planet,
War.
like, unless, you have some tribe civilizations that were more isolated than others, but there's always war, there's always conflict, and it's crazy to think that we're living in the safest of times.
Hell yeah! You think back to like the
crazy.
You think back to the speaking of Bugsy and freaking the 1960s. You know, what I mean, think about the 60s and the 50s and the 40s. There was World War I and World War II. You watch any movie. Yes, back to back. You watch any movie.
Black people. So in America,
exactly, and black people were being
and black people You throw Jim Crow on World War World Wars.
Sprinkle some crack on it.
It's like it's holy shit, man.
You watch any movie. Sorry to cut you off, bro. You watch any movie or any TV show that's like based in like the 40s or 30s or 60s or whatever. There's just World War I. Oh yeah, the Japanese, or the Germans or whatever. Yeah, World War I, World War II. You know what I'm saying?
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild when you the war on drugs.
Bro, when you hear old heads talking about back in the day and how safe it was, I was like, yo, bro, you have nostalgia glasses on. Like, I know I've heard people that I've grown up with who grew up in New York during the 70s and 80s and even early 90s and be like, oh yeah, man, things are so bad today. You're like, bro, what?
What?
The fuck? You grew up in the 80s? Like, what?
You know what Times Square looked like back then, bro? Times Square was
like,
big.
The LA riots, the New York riots, the Chicago
Warriors.
riots.
Are you serious?
Golly.
The Warriors.
The Warriors. That's funny.
It's like
every ride the N train, like you had to fight
you had to fight your way home.
5 gangs to go from Manhattan to Coney Island. And even when you got to Coney Island, you still got
fight on the beach. Crazy, bro.
Oh my god!
Every region of the country at some point has had a major national riot.
Crazy.
That's insane when you think about it. You know what I mean? So it's like nah. Whoever's telling you that, cap over 9,000.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Dang, bro. And I wonder if this is some sort of I wonder how China is looking at all this. Is very interesting. I wonder if this is some sort of litmus test and relations between them and Taiwan. This whole it's crazy because when I look at this, I always feel like I'm a spectator and this shit is entertainment to a degree, and it doesn't feel good, right? Because this is actually happening. But when people give their takes, when people look at it, the way it's put forth in the media or whatever sources that we read, it's some people do view this as entertainment, and it's where do you draw the line between looking at the conflict, being informed, and taking it to a point where it's entertaining to a degree, oh yeah, what if Russia does this, what if China does that, you know what I mean? It's just a weird time that we live in where we can almost sort of gamify, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean, like current events.
Satirize. You can satirize it too. That is a good. That's a good word for it. But I mean, the only experience I can think of, I remember in Nigeria had about 3 or 4 different civil wars, and the movie Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis.
Man, bro.
Yeah, the movie Tears of the Sun covered one of them. I think the one that was going on in the 90s, when the Muslims tried to take over the country. They were just like, listen, all Christians die. We don't care if you have royal or royal heritage or lineage. We don't care about none of that. Off with your heads. You know what I'm saying? So it's and talking to my parents and older relatives about what that was like and what it was like living in that time and other surrounding West African countries, they were having their issues too. Ghana, I remember they had their issues and freaking basically half, if not 2/3 of the country of Ghana had to move into Nigeria until it was safe to go back to their country because it was so wild at one point. You know what I mean? And it sucks that they came up with this term called Ghana must go bags, like the laundromat bags that they're like plaid. They're called Ghana must go because when their civil war was over, everybody packed their stuff up in these like laundromat bags, and they called the
That's
bags
crazy.
gotta must go bags, and they still do that to this day. Like it's part of it is comedy. The other part is freaking tragic when you think about it. Like, yo,
that's crazy.
You're packing. Imagine having to pack up your entire life in a laundromat bag, and having to leave your country and not knowing when it's safe to go back to your country. And even when you go back to your country, obviously you're starting from scratch because your land was taken or was burned down, or there could be some refugee remnants still beefing around your neighborhood or around your village or around your town. So war is expensive, not just fiscally with money, but with lives as well. And then that's the most troubling thing when I hear about conflicts, whether they're in first world countries or third world countries. In this case, so it's tough, man. It's a tough place to be.
Do we think that America's going to get involved?
Like direct fighting, like boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Like in Ukraine, doubt it. No,
I doubt it. I doubt it too because I think Biden and the Democrats who sort of have control allegedly. I don't think they want to have it's at this point it's sad, but it's all about the optics. They don't want to have that attached to them like the Bush administration will always be attached with Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So I don't me personally, that's just my opinion. I don't think they want to have that stigma if there is a transition 4-8 years from now and Republicans are back in power, like, oh, you remember 4-8 years ago? Oh, listen, they did the same shit that we did. So don't crucify us if we want to jump in. So it's reindeer games, man. It's political games.
Maybe that's. I think it's a little bit more than that. I think you don't want to have two nuclear capable countries coming in direct conflict with each other ever.
Yeah,
that could.
Yeah,
that could devolve.
That could be catastrophic.
That could be catastrophic.
For the neighboring countries.
Yeah, well, I mean, for the whole world. They had the concept of MAD, mutually assured destruction. Both countries, both the United States and Russia, have the capability to glass the world. Like unironically, just like wipe cities out, 50 times over. It's and the same thing. I think about the same thing. What if China were to invade Taiwan? Would America get involved directly? I don't know, man. Like, that's why, throughout the 20th century and, even today, you have mostly proxy wars, stuff like that. But man, Russian forces coming in direct conflict with American forces or any other nuclear capable force, man, that would be some scary shit. Because like that didn't really happen during the Cold War, not really, Yeah, that would be nuts. I don't know. That would legitimate, because like I don't ever think about, because like even though I'm concerned, I guess on a human level, I don't ever go to sleep concerned whether
somebody gonna run up in your crib.
Yeah, like whether someone's gonna drop, America's, let's say, exploits throughout history in a weird way has afforded me the ability to not worry about existential threats such as getting my house bombed and shit. But if you have like a U.S. and a Russia come in direct conflict, man, I don't know. And this is like my non-political science, non-educated take, but bro, I cannot see that ending well.
Unless you live in a hood, you worry about somebody breaking into your house or stealing your car.
Yeah, true. I'll deal with that over nukes, bro.
Over nukes? Over nukes?
I'll deal with that over nukes.
Okay.
Unless the dude knocked on your door with a fuck, just like oh my god, what's that movie? Don't Be a Menace.
Yeah.
When they kept doing the arms race and then Marlon Wayans had the fucking nuke.
Back of the
Like someone just pulls up to your crib with a nuke, like, yo, give me everything you got.
Or
at that point, I'm like, bro, if you detonate this, we're all fucked. Like, bro, you're not doing it.
We're
all done.
Or in the Dark Knight when the freaking Joker was having the shootout with the cops and they were just like, yeah, I think he's out of ammo. And this motherfucker comes out with a freaking bazooka, rocket launcher, and takes out like 4 cop cars.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Gotham was low key Chirac, yo. Like no joke.
No, high key, bro. No. In all these superhero movies, I would. Like,
I would never live in Gotham, bro.
I would never live in Gotham, bro.
Living in any city, because like Gotham is bad enough, right? But imagine, bro, imagine living in Metropolis. You said what?
Gotham is Chicago, bro.
I told you, Gotham is Chirac. That's what I said. Like,
no,
that's what I said.
That shit is worse. That shit is worse. I'll take Chicago over Gotham any.
Gotham is so live. Me and my boy were talking about this the other day. Gotham is so live. Batman doesn't even live in Gotham. Wayne Manor is in upstate New York. Wayne Manor is in freaking Albany, bro.
And he pull up and beat niggas up. He pull up and beat up special ed kids, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
He just put on a costume.
Yeah. There's something fucked up about a billionaire putting on a suit and beating up mostly like
minorities and
lower income people who have to resort to crime. Who maybe got coerced by the Joker or some shit, and then
kids' table.
He's fucking them up. Meanwhile, he's just taking Joker to Arkham, and then he gave out mad concussions, bro. Mad CTE.
Yeah, yo.
Niggas don't have the insurance for none of this shit, and he's beating.
It's like, bro. Honestly, you could have just like donated to like Boys and Girls of America, like you could. Like,
he's got the Wayne Foundation.
Like you could have just opened a charter school, bro.
He's raising orphans too. You know,
and he has these weird ass relationships with underprivileged people. He's like, hey, you have no one. You have nothing to live for. Your parents are dead. Oh, cool. You want to be a child soldier? Come through. Like, what the fuck? like what? Like we're talking about fucking African warlords. He's what? Wait, what? He's worse.
You want to call DCFS on freaking Bruce Wayne? All right, good luck with that.
That's crazy, bro.
What's even crazier?
Beating the poor people.
He's like, yo, bro, do you want to sign up? Like, we'll train you. You're gonna go through rigorous psychological abuse. Yes. You might get killed. You get to beat up poor people, though.
You're definitely getting CTE. You're definitely getting CTE. That goes without saying.
One day you're gonna grow up to resent me and become your own superhero, and then just perpetuate the same shit that I do anyway, just in a different suit. Like, what? Oh, this is horrible.
What's even more unrealistic? You got freaking Clark Kent, who is an alien, by the way. You have him living in New York on a journal he's an immigrant and an alien. Whatever you want to call it. You got him living in New York, Metropolis, on a journalist's salary. That is like beyond unrealistic.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, like whenever I just know, like when in the cartoon, he would always have like a decent looking apartment.
Yeah, but you're a journalist.
No roommates, bro.
I don't know. Maybe he like steals shit on the side. Who knows?
He probably does. He probably does. But it's like, Metropolis is even worse because it seems a lot safer than Gotham on the day to day. But they get like these fucking universal existential threats. It's like fucking Gotham City. They have to deal with Joker, the Penguin. Metropolis Doomsday. Like, the fuck? Like, that's a nuke.
Yeah, that's a nuke.
That's a nuke.
Yeah, that's literally a nuke.
Like, what? That's a nuke.
It be daytime, bro. They be walking to work.
Exactly. Yo,
oh shit! Is that an alien warship? Oh shit!
Yo, like what?
Looking for Superman, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I don't move to Gotham City. I'm like, I get robbed every day, but like. At least I don't get hit with meteors and shit. Exactly.
I live in Hell's Kitchen. I mean, I got Daredevil. You know what I mean? Like, my only problem is Kingpin. Yeah, Kingpin isn't flying an alien ship.
Marvel is different.
DC is.
I would still hate to live in New York in Marvel, bro, because that shit gets destroyed all the fucking time, bro.
That's wild.
Not New York. That shit gets trashed all. Like even in the cinematic universe, that shit gets trashed. They address briefly like the effects of superheroing. I forgot which Avengers movie, but that lady goes backstage and talks to Iron Man.
Spider-Man. In the Spider-Man movie with Vulture, they address the fact that y'all come up here, fuck our city up, and then make us clean the shit up, and then take.
That too.
The only Marvel movie I can remember where there's a few of them. One I remember, one of the early ones. It was I think it was the second or third Iron Man when friggin' Tony had PTSD and CTE from like the second Avengers movie. This nigga couldn't sleep at all throughout the whole movie. He's like, yo, damn, we really like blew up the whole city, and like everybody was just like, all right, thanks.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. And I think that lady, like, there's some lady that like fucking ran up to Tony Stark and said some shit, and then that's what was. I think it was the Avengers movie when they were like Civil War. I think it was Civil War.
She was like, "You killed my
Yeah, it was. I think it was Civil War. It was Civil War.
And I was like, "This is the first time you explicitly acknowledge the fact that in saving the world, you killed like 300 people."
Yeah, in Wachovia.
Yo, and the fight with the Hulkbuster versus the Hulk, that was like billions of dollars of profit.
Oh my god, easily. What was more expensive, that fight or the fight with Superman and General Zar from Man of Steel?
Oh yeah, that shit was crazy. Because that shit went across state lines, bro.
Bro, they were punching each other all across the world.
Bro, they was punching each other like across state lines easily, man. I was like, yo. Ouch, that's expensive.
It's crazy because I've gotten into fights in my friends' cribs, and I'll think about falling over their stuff and chill out. And Superman don't give a fuck. He's like, I'm going.
I'm taking out those 3 like freaking Hilton hotels real quick. It just is.
But when it comes to the last scene where he's like, where Zod was about to burn those people, and then he has to like, he's crying about breaking his neck.
He's like, damn, I got break.
It's like, bro.
You fucked the whole
thing. That you could have saved mad lives. That's the first thing you. The first thing you should. That's the first thing you could have done. That's the first thing. Just shut the. Like that's it. Credits.
That's why a lot of people. That's why a lot of people don't like Superman and Batman because they both have codes. Like they really like. That's the thing. A lot of people hold against them.
Batman's code is fucking make you special.
I'm not gonna shoot you, but I'm gonna destroy your brain.
Yeah, and then a bunch of Batman villains are villains because of Batman, or some weird circumstance involving Batman. At least Superman doesn't make his villains. Not really.
They just come from space. All his villains come from space. Except
he's like
pretty much.
He's like you're too strong.
Lex Luthor hates Spider-Man. Lex Luthor hates Superman because he's a white man with powers.
Because he's a god, basically. Yeah.
A black bald man, he hates him.
Yeah.
No, that's why the Joker movie resonated with so many people. Seriously, it did, because it's like, yo, and it was like the first time they kind of like humanized him, and it was like, listen, he's going through a lot of shit, and he has mental, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? And he slipped through the cracks. Low key, Bruce Wayne's dad.
He agreed.
He did. He turned into a freaking serial killer. I'm not saying he got a pass.
Like he even started a fight. He even punched somebody.
He shot a comedian.
He just shot some dudes that was bullying him.
He slit the dude who was working, who snitched on him at work. He slit his throat when he showed up at his apartment.
Bro, that's weird.
He freaking suffocated his mother.
Yeah, that guy didn't have to snitch on him though. That was fucked up.
He brought that
because he's the one who put him onto the gun. That was fucked up.
Pretty much. But
you could have just went up to him and just like, yo, bro, like, just shut up. Just like, that's it.
But low-key daddy issues from Thomas Wayne. Like that's what.
Thomas Wayne was lying, bro. That was definitely.
I think so too. That was definitely his.
That was definitely his kid, bro.
Like Batman and Joker are brothers. That's why he doesn't kill him.
That'd be funny.
It explains everything.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. Don't be a joker. Don't be a joker, guys.
Don't be a joker.
Take that energy and become a youth minister. I don't know what the fuck.
Exactly. Go work at DeVry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you know who's rolling in his
grave. Character development turn you in, develop you into a villain.
Don't. You know who's rolling in their grave? Freaking Frank Sinatra. I don't think he meant for his song to be like the thing. No, I'm saying is that's life. That's his song.
Oh yeah.
That's like the Joker's. That song is now like the Joker's anthem now.
Oh, gotcha.
And that I don't think that was Frank Sinatra's intention for his song to be.
That was not his intention.
Associated with a freaking serial killer, psychotic clown. Like,
but then again,
sought out for.
Then again, he would definitely be with the royalties though, so he might not be that bad. He'll be like, man, but then he'll be attacked, and then he'll be like, oh, okay.
Hey, his estate's caking. So
yeah,
I know they're not mad.
Yeah, man, his estate, his kids are gonna be good.
So the theme of the show obviously is don't die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become
Don't die a hero.
Nice shot. Again, man. People wonder here. Yeah, oh girl, I love the way she do it. She get low like it's nothing really to it. She pick it up and she spin it back around and she get it from my mama. Damn, I knew it. Ezoku, Ezoku, Ezoku. Nice job, boy. Ibu Kwenu, yeah, that's true. She move her hips so proper. Yeah, and she look like Rihanna.